So for this technical challenge, I'll be making Viennese Whirls from Mary Berry from the Great British Baking Show. I've been watching it with my family recently, in addition to learning a bunch of kind of cool, older recipes that I never kind of knew about. It also gave me a great inspiration to bake, so here we are. My brother wanted to try the Viennese Whirls, so I'm gonna make them. So let's see what our ingredients are hidden under this. They call it something else in the show, but it's this. Ta-da! So for the recipe, we are going to need... Sorry, I have to read from the paper. I don't want to memorize this. 200 grams of raspberries, along with jam sugar, but I don't have jam sugar, and so we're using regular sugar. We also need unsalted butter for the biscuits. We need 9 ounces for the biscuits, and 3.5 ounces for the filling. We also need 200 grams of icing sugar, or confectioner's sugar as we call it in the States, for the filling, and vanilla extract. Then we have AP flour, and 225 grams. Corn flour, quote unquote, 1 ounce. Here we call that cornstarch. And also icing sugar for the cookies, which need 50 grams. So, let's get this challenge started. I don't have a time limit, but I don't have a time limit. So our first step is to prep the cookie sheets. And so what we're going to do is stencil out how big the whirl should be. Mary Berry calls for a 2-inch round cutter. I don't know if that's radius or diameter or who knows what. So I'm going with 2-inch diameter. So either the cookies are going to be way too small or they'll be perfect. Sorry, I'm a mechanical pencil kind of person. Sorry if that bothers someone, but I like A, not sharpening pencils, and B, not sharpening pencils. And I like them that they're more precise. Like, when I doodle, I like kind of just doodle with lines. I don't do anything fancy schmancy in my pantsy. Someone named Nancy. And we're aiming for 24 biscuits, so if I do 3x4 per sheet, I should only need... Now let's do 9 just to be safe, 9 on each sheet. The last sheet will just be a little barren. First you draw a circle, and then you can draw another circle. Draw a circle. Let's make that one curvy. Ta-da. No, talking about a time limit, and then I waste time drawing curvy. And flip it over so you don't get graphite in your grub. For the actual biscuits, I'll be using 250 grams of very soft room temperature butter. Unfortunately, room temperature in this house is like 62 degrees, so I did have to microwave it a little bit. But we're supposed to beat that with the confectioner's sugar. Ugh. You know, that's the worst thing about confectioner's sugar, I think, is when you make a huge mess with it. No. It's when, like, you have a cookie that's covered in confectioner's sugar, and you, like, inhale before you take a bite. You just get that big huff of confectioner's sugar right into your lungs. So the reason I'm using European butter is kind of twofold. A, it's a European recipe, so I thought it would be appropriate. And also, unlike American butter, European butter tends to be slow churned, so it gets kind of finer fat crystals, so the texture will hopefully be a little better. And in something like this, or something like a pound cake, where butter is like the main structure element, I think that's important to have. And also, European butter has a bit of tang to it. It's not made out of sweet cream like American butter is, but instead, I guess you call it sour cream, fermented cream, kind of like thick buttermilk. And so it's going to add a bit more flavor to the final dough. Shoot. That was 3 things, wasn't it? I'm gonna need to go a little faster if I'm gonna get this pale and fluffy. Like Nermal, one of the cats. Alright, that looks pale and fluffy to me. I'm not sure about you guys. So our next step is to add in the flour and the cornstarch flour. And we're supposed to sift it in, so I have my lovely sifter right here. You can see. I just have to crank it and it sifts. So it's interesting. I've never directly added cornstarch to a cookie dough, now that I'm thinking about it. And the confectioner sugar has that too. I wonder if editing me will comment on it for me. Alright, that's done sifting. And now we beat this well until it's thoroughly mixed. On low, unless I want to get another good dose of baker's lung. I think this is the second time I've made cookies for this segment, and both times I picked way too small of a bowl. I was like, oh no, this bowl will be fine. It doesn't seem like that much dough. No. There was plenty of dough. I was just a dummy. Alright, that looks pretty dough-like to me. Dough. So remember how I said my brother was the one who was really interested in trying this recipe, and that's why I'm making it?
My brother wanted to try the Viennese Whirls, so I'm gonna make them.
Well, it's a little bit of a lie. Not only am I doing it because he was interested in it, but also because I found this old toy in my room. It's a dough gun, so I thought it might be fun to use this for the piping. Yeah. And probably a bad idea. And if this doesn't work, I have a backup plan, so don't worry. So let's fill up our dough gun. Dough gun shogun. I'm making a mess gun. I'm gonna have to clean this up gun. Sorry, you can't see any of this because it's off screen. I apologize. This dough's a bit firmer than I thought it would be, honestly. Trying to fill it. It's like filling a baby bottle for the Cookie Monster. No, I'm funny. Sometimes. You know what? Just get in there with your hands. Well, the stove does feel a little warm. Come on, get in there. Should have gone with a smaller spatula. That made a mess, but it's full. So let's try doing this. Let's see here, so... maybe if I hold it down? Am I doing it wrong? I do a lot of things wrong. Okay, this isn't working. To the pastry bag. Shoot. Well, that's disappointing. I guess I'll never be a Dogun Shogun. Oh, well. Alright, so this is my MacGyver pastry bag-ness. So, plastic bag. Check. So, pastry bag. Dough. No, sorry, plastic bag. Soon to be pastry bag. The dough goes in. Alrighty then, I put the tip in from the cookie gun in hopes of making an actual piping bag out of this. So, I'm not sure if that's visible on camera, but the dough broke the bag. Shoot. Do I have another plan? Hopefully. So now that I've dirtied up the dough gun for no good reason and broke a Ziploc bag, I guess it's time to give up on the whirl part of my Viennese Whirls. So now they're just gonna be Viennese twirls? Swirls? Girls? I don't know, I think I also might have made too big of a gap. Oh yeah, that's way too big. It's just gonna be a blob at this point. Viennese blob. This is not working! Mary Berry, how have you let me down? Alright, I guess we're not even having whirls at this point. It's Viennese blobs. Sorry to everyone from Vienna. Okay, I apologize for all the times I made fun of the competitors on the show because, gosh, I'm following an actual recipe. I don't have to guess on anything. And the best I can make is, looks like Digimon poop. So, welcome back to Let's Cook Viennese Blobs. with your favorite guest star Blob, and his best friend Blob, and his girlfriend Blobberina Blobberston III, Esquire. They're not even like good-looking blobs. It's not like Slime from Dragon Quest or what else is a cute blobby thing? Kirby, I guess. It's Kirby's fault. I drew him on the parchment, and he cursed me for taking his image in vain. I could just imagine Mary Berry being disappointed in me, trying to find the one positive thing she could be like nice about. Be like, oh well, at least they didn't poison anyone. So there we have it, our 2 sheets of Viennese blobs. Oh well. And now these go in a 375-degree oven for roughly 13 to 15 minutes. And I'm probably gonna rotate them halfway. Oh, shut up, oven. Between Jeez. For the filling that isn't the jam, we use some more of that European butter, 100 grams softened, and then 200 grams of icing sugar, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Oh no! Oh no, the butter's not softened enough. Who would have thought in this house of like 62 degrees? I've made a mess and a fool of myself. I'm a messy fool. And not like the dessert. Pretty sure. No, that's a berry fool I'm thinking of. Oops. Okay, now it's starting to come together a bit. There we go. The problem of cold butter struck again. I'm learning that this is my nemesis, apparently. Alright, that says... it's time to move the cookies. This is what the cookies look like coming out of the oven. And now it's hurting my hand, so I'm stuffing that. And so I think that's as light and smooth as I'm gonna get out of this butter and this day, and out of my patience. So the next thing we're going to do is make the jam, which is technically the first thing I'm supposed to do, but apparently I'm bad at following directions today. Alright, so for the jam, I'm actually breaking the rules. I am using the right amount of raspberries, and I am going to crush them with my potato masher that's been in my family for generations. Also gives me a chance to let up my aggression about how the cookies have been going. I think that matched enough. So, apparently gelling sugar, or jam sugar, isn't that common in the US. Apparently it goes under the name gelling sugar, but it's basically sugar with citric acid added and pectin to help with gelling. What the citric acid does is it lowers the pH, which causes the normally repelling pectin molecules, so they'll be able to get close together. The pectin adds more pectin for setting. And then what sugar does is it binds to the free water, so that the water doesn't get in between the pectin and allow it to interact with each other. So that's your science lesson for the day. Is very brief general overview of how pectin works. And so I am using half a cup of granulated sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice in order to make up for the lack of citric acid. I do feel that there's enough pectin in these raspberries that we don't need extra pectin. At least I'm not expecting to need extra pectin. Bring this up to a boil. See you in 4 minutes. Oops, I missed that raspberry in there. Alright, our 4 minutes of boiling is up, and that looks pretty jammin' to me. So we're going to take this off the heat and allow it to cool. Not sure if I'm going to leave the seeds in or not. We'll see what shall be in my destiny. Yes, sirree. Alright, so the cookies sat on the cookie sheets after baking for 5 minutes, and then I put them on this sheet to cool completely. So they're ready to go, the jam is cool, and because I can't let things go, I got the cookie gun out again. This time I filled it with the frosting that goes in the middle, because I just want this to work so bad. So half of the biscuits get flipped over. Oh great, now I'm calling them biscuits. I've been infected. I've done this so long that it's starting to get to me. And they get a thin layer of jam. I really should have had something around to spoon it with. Think, this is episode what? And I haven't learned my lesson about having stuff ready beforehand. Spoon it is. So, a little bit of jam. A little bit of jammy jam. Just think of it like putting on your jammies, but it's a cookie. And it's fruit jam. So if you have fruit-colored pajamas, I guess the allegory, the analogy, the whatever this is, works. Otherwise, I'm just rambling, like always. That's what I assume people come here to watch, is me rambling. Oh no, this one got a little... oops. This one got a little oops. Looks like it was up against part of the cookie sheet. Well, now I know what place I'd get in the technical. Last. Oh no, too much jam. No, I've made this one ugly. Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Looks like it's stuck. No, it's not gonna work. I thought it was gonna work. Here we go. Here we go now. Cynthia, she's a really cool dancer. Cynthia, move it to the groove now. Wow, this is actually really difficult with this. Maybe. You know, of course, at least the whirl part will be on the inside. It's just like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. What matters is on the inside. It's more beautiful on the inside. I doubt anyone's gonna be opening up their sandwich cookie before eating it. Yeah, you know, I'd rather use a piping bag for this. Well, I mean, guns are known for causing pain, and this is causing me pain, so I guess it's working, isn't it? Come on, Mr. Buttercream. I've run out of things to talk about. So let's talk about you. How are you doing, audience? Do you have a favorite cookie? Something you'd like to see me make and hopefully not mess up? Please let me know in the comments below. And I'll probably make it. 1, 2. Try to make these as even as possible. 3, 4, 5. I lost count because I went through 2 different languages. Oh no, that one was definitely not the right size. Just imagine them coming up to my face and being like, we were looking for consistency and we didn't get that here. And then them like prodding everything with their fingers like this. Ta-da! Ta-da! Now it's time for the taste test. Let's see, it's kind of awkward in this chair. It's good. It's very crumbly shortbread. The jam is nice, it's tart enough. It's a good cookie, my only problem is the aesthetics. I messed it up. And oh no! Oh no! We lost a crumb. Yeah. A little bit too crumbly for me. Could have a little bit more structure to make it that it doesn't fall apart in your hands or your mouth, but it'll eventually fall apart in your stomach. Despite all the heartbreak that went into it. And it also murdered 2 Ziploc bags. But don't just take my word for it. This is what someone else had to say. So, thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.